When I'm doing a run video analysis with an athlete, number one, I like to look at them while they're running on the treadmill. It makes it a lot easier for me to see them stationary, because if they're running back and forth or in and out of the camera, then they're running away and I don't quite see the 6 things that I'm looking at. Those six things that I'm looking at include, number one, foot strike. Where are they striking the ground with their foot? Underneath their body, too much in front of them. I rarely see anyone striking their foot behind them. So mainly what I'm looking at is that they're striking their foot underneath their center of gravity, that they're landing as much under their hips as they can. If they run and they land too far out in front of them, that's an indication that they're probably landing on their heel. Not always, but the next thing I'm looking at is whether they're landing on their heel, they're landing flat foot, or they're landing too much on their toe. If you land too much what I call toey, you're more prone to calf and Achilles problems. If you land too much on your heel, then that's going to create shin and knee problems. So what you want is you want to land as much as you can underneath your center of gravity, which is your hips. The next thing I'm looking at is running cadence. How many foot strikes does an athlete take per minute? Ideally, I'm looking at between 85 and 95 foot strikes per minute. If an athlete is below 81 foot strikes a minute, the first thing that I'm going to want to do is either have them get a metronome, have them count from their watch, or just count and get that foot strike cadence above 80. That's the number one goal. And then we'll try to get them to 85, and then maybe they'll stay there. Maybe they'll get as high as 90, up to 95, maybe even 100. I know over the years, when I'm doing like a race like a 5K, my cadence can get as high as 100, but this is something that it's taken me years to develop a quick cadence. Next, I'm looking at stride. Again, stride has to do with how strong their legs are and how much distance they cover in one rotation of their legs. First you look at cadence, then you look at stride. The more you run or the stronger your legs are, that'll increase your stride, but you don't want to lose cadence to try to make your stride longer. If you sacrifice cadence for stride, chances are higher you're going to become a heel striker. And we want that faster cadence, because with a faster cadence, generally the faster that cadence, the more you're going to strike your foot strike underneath your hip center of gravity, and more you're going to land flat foot, also known as midfoot. So again, the first 3 things that are critical are where the athlete is striking the ground, how is the athlete striking the ground, and then looking at that cadence, rate, as well as stride. Each thing impacts the other thing. Next, I'm looking at posture, making sure the athlete has their shoulders back and down their spine. They're keeping their shoulder blades back. They have their chest out. Along with posture is arm swing. So making sure the athlete's driving their elbows back instead of robot arms, as well as not crossing their front of their body. So when I want to analyze an athlete's running on the treadmill, I like to look at that front view, because that helps me see where the athlete's crossing their body. It also helps me see a little bit of foot strike. Mainly I'm looking at the side view, because that gives me a better look at their posture, their arm swing, as well as their forward lean, and just, that's really important for increasing the cadence. Finally, I look at what's going on with their legs. Again, this can best be from the back view that I'm watching them running, because then I can see how much heel lift that they have, and I'm also could see if there's any tilt in their heel, an outward rotation or an inward rotation. If there is, that's an indication that they might have some imbalance in their hips, usually a weak glute medius. So the back view's important for that reason, and looking at the back view also helps me indicate if they're a toe striker or more of a midfoot striker. So all three views are important for that reason. Good running form can take months, even years to fix. There's no one perfect running form that we should emulate, but practicing the tips that I provided with a faster leg turnover, stronger legs to increase your stride without losing that leg turnover, trying to land underneath the center of your gravity with a slight forward lean, knee and hip flexion, then you're on the right path to better form and injury prevention issues that you may experience as a runner.